I discovered my boyfriend has been secretly recording our intimate moments and sharing them online. My perfectly legal revenge left him jobless, friendless, and facing prison time. Story time. 2 months ago, I was in what I believed was a loving 3-year relationship with my boyfriend. We lived together, shared a life, and I trusted him completely. That was until a message from a stranger turned my world upside down. It was a regular Tuesday evening. I was scrolling through my Instagram when a DM popped up from someone I didn't know. "I think you should know your videos are online." At first, I thought it was spam, but something made me respond. The stranger sent me a link, warning me it contained explicit content of myself. My hands shook as I clicked it. There I was, in our bedroom, completely unaware I was being filmed during intimate moments. The videos dated back almost a year. I felt violated, nauseated, and completely betrayed. The worst part, the account posting them belonged to my boyfriend. I closed my laptop and sat in stunned silence. He was at work, wouldn't be home for hours. My mind raced through every possibility. Maybe his account was hacked? Maybe this was some elaborate mistake? Deep down, I knew better. Instead of confronting him immediately, I decided to gather evidence. I needed to be strategic. I took screenshots of everything, the videos, the account information, the dates they were posted. I downloaded what I could as proof. Then I deleted my browser history and waited. When he came home, I acted normal. It was the hardest performance of my life, smiling through dinner while my stomach churned with disgust. I needed time to figure out my next move. The next day while he was at work, I searched our apartment. In our bedroom, I found 3 hidden cameras, one in the bookshelf facing our bed, another disguised as a phone charger, and one in the bathroom vent. I photographed each without moving them. I also found an external hard drive in his desk drawer containing hundreds of videos of me, organized by date. I consulted a lawyer friend who confirmed this was absolutely illegal in our state, recording someone in private settings without consent. She helped me understand my options. I could go to the police immediately, but I wanted more than just legal justice. I wanted him to feel exposed, to understand what he'd done to me. My plan formed over the next week. I continued acting normal while gathering evidence and securing my finances. I opened a new bank account and transferred my savings. I found a temporary place to stay with a friend. I documented everything meticulously. Then came execution day. I waited until he left for his weekly basketball game with friends. I had 3 hours. First, I packed my essential belongings and moved them to my friend's place. Then I returned for phase 2. I removed all the hidden cameras and the hard drive. I left printouts of the screenshots on our bed, images of his account, the videos, everything. Next to them, I placed a formal letter from my lawyer detailing the specific laws he had violated and the potential consequences, up to 5 years in prison and registration as a sex offender in our state. I also left a USB drive containing a single video, me speaking directly to camera, calmly explaining that I had discovered everything, had secured all evidence, and would be pursuing legal action. I explained that I had already filed a police report and that officers would likely be contacting him soon. The final touch was a printed list of every person in his life who would be receiving evidence of what he'd done: his parents, his boss, his friends. Not the explicit content, of course, but proof of his crimes. Then I left and blocked him on everything. Within an hour, my phone exploded with notifications, calls from his number, his friends, even his mother. I ignored them all. My lawyer had advised me not to communicate with him directly. 2 days later, I received an email from him, begging for forgiveness, claiming he would delete everything, that he was sick and needed help. I forwarded it to my lawyer without responding. The police investigation moved quickly with the evidence I provided. He was arrested the following week. When released on bail, he was served with a restraining order. Here's where the perfectly legal revenge part comes in. I didn't just rely on the criminal justice system. I reported his accounts to every platform hosting the content, citing non-consensual pornography laws. I contacted his workplace with documentation of his arrest and the nature of his crimes. I didn't threaten or harass, I simply provided factual information about criminal activity. He lost his job. His family was horrified. His friends abandoned him. And all I did was expose the truth through proper legal channels. The criminal case is still proceeding, but he's already facing the consequences of his actions. Meanwhile, I'm in therapy, rebuilding my life, and learning to trust again. To anyone reading this who might be in a similar situation, document everything, know your rights, and remember that the shame belongs to them, not you. Update 1. 3 weeks later. The court date was set for next month, but something unexpected happened. His lawyer reached out to mine proposing a plea deal. He would plead guilty to all charges, accept a suspended sentence with probation, mandatory counseling, and registration as a sex offender. In exchange, I would not pursue additional civil damages. After careful consideration and discussions with my therapist and lawyer, I agreed. While part of me wanted him to serve jail time, the thought of a lengthy trial where those videos might be evidence was too much. This way, he still faces serious consequences without me having to relive the trauma in court. The judge approved the deal yesterday. He received a 5-year suspended sentence, 3 years of probation, is now a registered sex offender, and must complete both community service and a treatment program for sex offenders. I've received messages from 2 other women who discovered they were also recorded by him. They're now pursuing their own cases with the evidence collected from his devices during the investigation. As for me, I'm moving to a new city next month. I've accepted a job offer I've been considering for a while, and this seemed like the perfect time for a fresh start. My therapist says I'm making remarkable progress, though I still have moments where I feel violated all over again. Update 2 months later. I've been in my new city for 3 weeks now. The new job is challenging, but exactly what I needed to focus my energy on something positive. I found a small apartment that feels safe. I checked every inch for hidden devices before moving in, something my therapist says is completely normal given what I experienced. Yesterday, I received an email from his mother. She apologized profusely for what her son did and wanted me to know that the family was ensuring he continues with his treatment program. She mentioned he's living with them now, unable to find employment with his new status. While I appreciate her reaching out, I didn't respond. Some bridges can't be rebuilt. The support groups I've joined for survivors of image-based abuse have been incredibly helpful. Hearing others' stories and sharing mine has been healing in ways I didn't expect. I'm even considering becoming an advocate for stronger laws against this type of violation once I feel stronger. For now, I'm taking it one day at a time. Some days are harder than others, but I'm proud of how I handled this situation. I stood up for myself, protected my dignity, and used the legal system exactly as it was intended, to hold someone accountable for their crimes. To those who sent supportive messages, thank you. To those going through something similar, you're not alone, and there is a way forward.